Come to view the requests?
We were back at square one. In hopes of finding some new leads, we split up and interviewed every Seed Hollow local we could find. Despite our efforts, we found little new information. Zothba and his connections, on the other hand, proved invaluable once more as they unearthed a new clue. The girl wore a crown of flowers. I froze in place. I knew this primal. In fact, I learned of her on my first visit to Zega Grande. Konohana Sakuya, was it? Yes. An ethereal girl bearing a floral crown? It had to be her. Her presence would explain why Lyria sensed a primal beast in addition to Excavalion. She was pact-bound to Ulmarine Island, and she held domain over blossoming flowers. The unusually vibrant bouquets blooming across Seed Hollow just added more proof of her proximity. With the culprit identified, only one problem remained. Me. After what Sakuya and I went through, I doubt she would ever show herself around me again.
Have a nice day! Hello there!
I come from a long lineage of proud warriors. We had a great number of visitors at our dojo, many of them masters of their respective disciplines. At some point, I picked up a blade of my own and began to mimic their movements. Back then, I enjoyed the training for what it was, valuing the journey over the destination. That is, until I met him, the supreme swordsmaster of the Eternals, Eata, once known as the demon Zomba. With a single glance, he identified all of my weaknesses. Then, with a few words, his strength was beyond captivating. I even eavesdropped on a conversation between him and my father, and discovered we were distant relatives. I was elated. For some time, he continued to train at our family dojo. I took every opportunity I could to learn from him, following him wherever he went. I ate whenever he ate. I committed all his mannerisms to memory. However, with the exception of our first encounter, he never acknowledged me. After all, he yearned for nothing more than strength. Why pay heed to a weakling, such as myself? So I vowed to become stronger. I would soar so high, he'd have to see me. I dedicated myself to training, begrudging even a single moment of respite. The blade was everything to me. And eventually, there was no disciple at the dojo who could come close to rivaling my skill. That was around when he vanished. In the blink of an eye, he was out of my life. He spoke not another word to me, nor called me by name. I was meditating in the forest one day when a group of travelers approached me. I didn't know them, but they were the captain and the crew of the Grand Cipher, and my future. Initially, I thought they were lost and had come to ask for directions. I was only half correct. They were seeking guidance, but not out of the woods. They wanted to learn martial arts from me. I shook my head. I was no master, only a chrysalis struggling to break free of my own shell. I believed the captain was mocking me, but that wasn't the case. I looked into the captain's eyes and found truth, alongside a burning desire for strength. Yet I found myself drawn to the captain. That's why I decided to join the crew of the Grand Cipher on their journey across the skies. I was convinced that this was the only path that could reunite me with Zomba. One day, I encountered an adorable Harvan girl at a local market. I'd already finished my shopping, so I decided to accompany her to a nearby cafe for tea and conversation. Upon parting, I asked for her name. She proudly introduced herself as Viv, one of the 10 Eternals. I had heard that Zomba once cared for a child of the same name. A jealousy brewed within me that I hadn't felt before. Zanba had taken notice of her, yet he never once acknowledged me during our time together. My inner peace had been shattered. I retreated to the mountains and started my training anew. But the more I tried to find direction, the more I realized how lost I truly was. It was Lyria and the captain who brought me back. They appreciated me for who I was. Nothing more, nothing less. Perhaps I too could learn to love the living, breathing me, and not a ghost of the future. That thought filled me with so much contentment. I was ready to give up on chasing Zomba. But the universe works in strange ways. As soon as I was about to let go, Viv helped bring me and Zomba together again. It was then I finally put into words. I spoke about how I wanted him to acknowledge me, to call my name. He listened quietly, and for what I felt was the first time, truly saw me. But I had yet to see, in love, myself. As part of my quest for self-discovery, I crossed blades with Zomba. No, Ayata. We fought for days. He no longer believed I was a weakling. After our battle, we visited the tea shop, and it was there that he first addressed me by name. Never had tea and cake tasted so sweet to me. Now, with nothing holding me back, I am free to soar toward ever greater heights with my beloved companions on the Grand Cipher. I had failed that day at the Hill Wind Altar. I had spent years training and sharpening my skills, devoted my entire life to the pursuit of strength. But in that moment, it all amounted to nothing. Our experiences in Zego Grande had planted a seed of doubt in my mind. Over time, it grew, dense and wild as a jungle, choking me with a sense of helplessness like I'd never felt before. I wasn't able to protect Lyria or the captain. I had found my identity as a big sister, as a guardian. But now that I'd failed, who was I? I thought about resuming my training, but I couldn't afford to isolate myself like that. What if something were to happen while I was away? Then, the solution came to me. Whenever the captain was about to take on a dangerous mission, I would complete it first. That way, I could train myself and protect the crew in one fell swoop. I was too blind to see that despair had clipped my wings and chained me once again to the past. Are there any particularly dangerous missions available? Sierra Carte, with her usual cheery disposition, set a list of options before me.
Sure are. We've got a few jobs here that only a crew of your caliber could handle. In fact...
She paused and looked at me with a quizzical expression.
You know, I can't even remember the last time I saw you here by your lonesome. Don't you usually do things as a crew?
I told her I intended to undertake these missions alone, as part of my training.
I gotcha. The grind never ends for you, huh? Just don't push yourself too hard, you hear?
I nodded, only half acknowledging Ciro's words. After deciding upon a venture, I chartered a small carrier vessel which would take me to a nearby island. As the ship was tossed about the turbulent winds, I closed my eyes and looked for peace within. This is for their sake, as well as mine. According to Ciero, the threat should be somewhere around here. Letter. Like the dawn. Life is a dance, come what may. I sense great evil. Just a little farther. Shall we test which is stronger? Your shield or my blade? Such malice. You cannot be allowed to live. Wind in the fields. They've gone mad. I can see how this battle will end. It ends with your death! Dawnblood. You bring nothing to the skies but suffer. Your anger is no match for mine. But it's not over yet. I will not rest while evil runs free. Do you not have anything more dangerous? I made quick work of the mission and returned at once to Sierra. She seemed taken aback when I demanded more work, but I was determined. If someone had to risk their life, better me than the captain. The crew didn't have to know. They would be kept free from worry and danger, while I grew stronger. I was so absorbed in my thoughts, I'd failed to notice how Sierra's eyes grew ever more clouded with worry.
Yeah?
Yes, can I help you?
I continued to take one treacherous job after another. If you want someone safe, then keep them from entering the tiger's den. It's as simple as that.
Are you really sure you're up for another wonder, Maya?
Sierra worried for me, but there was no turning back now. My labor had bore fruit. The rest of the crew was beginning to look healthier, better rested. They returned earlier from missions, bearing fewer injuries. I appreciate the concern, Sierra, but the path to strength is long and narrow, and I must continue down this path, for all of their sakes. I was fixated on protecting my loved ones. They were all I could see. If they were safe, then nothing else mattered. That thought alone was enough to steel my resolution.
All right, see you.
It's never too early to enjoy life.
What can I do you for? Not everyone gets to see the good stuff, you know. Don't be a stranger.
Incredible.
What?
Oh dear.
No, not like that. Okay, concentrate on your form. Now lock in. That's it.
All right.
Nice.
And also...
Wow.
Right. Aww. And then... No.
All right.
All right.
What you doing here, Ed?
Looking for a way to save Roland.
This place is replete with his memory.
We really appreciated it, you chipping in to rescue Roland.
I owe him just as much as you do. More, even.
I feel bad intruding on his home without permission, but there might be clues around. Wanna help us search?
Hello there. Did I hear you mention Roland?
Huh? Oh yeah, you a friend of his too?
So my ears didn't deceive me. We've met before, remember? At the docks of Tempeel.
Oh, you're the guy that told us about hallowed ground.
The very same. But, back to Roland. Would you happen to know where he is?
Oh, he's...
He's somewhere far away.
Yeah, really far. It'll probably take him a while to get back.
That's fine. I just wanted to be sure he was safe. Knowing Roland, he'll probably wander in through that door when we need him most. Though, to be honest, I hope that's sooner rather than later.
Why's that? Something wrong?
Well, as you may know, in addition to being a vicar, Roland was the local Mr. Fix-It. And I'm not just talking repairs. Monster hunting, herb picking, he was a real lifesaver. But now that Roland's gone, there's tons of work that's going unfinished.
I'll do it.
Huh?
I'll take up his mantle.
This is so painful to watch. Will somebody please teach this kid to speak like a normal person?
I think Ed meant to say he just wants to be helpful now that Roland's gone. Right, Ed?
Right.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you. But, how do I put this? We were comfortable asking Roland for favors because we trusted him. While you certainly look like an upstanding young man, you're still a stranger. No offense.
But
We'll help out too.
Great idea! Hey, mister, we aren't strangers. What if we tagged along?
Well, all right, if you insist. I have to say, though, you've done so much for our city.
You sure about this, Captain?
Yeah, it's what Roland would want.
Thanks.
Well, now that everything's settled, I'll forward all our jobs to the Crew Alliance Reform. Whenever you feel like taking something on, head over to the quest counter. Thank you again, and...
I see. I like it. Nice. Oh. I see. Nice. Oh.
Let's talk. Want your weapons tempered? I can make just about anything. Show me. Your weapons won't betray you.
Welcome! Look who it is! And look! I just got some rare stuff! Don't be a stranger!
We've got lots of items. Prices.
Come to view the requests?
Mother said she would bring us salvation. It was a glorious message, and for that she gained a devoted following. As for me, how could I doubt the woman who pulled me from the fiery wreck, who raised me as her own? I thought that together we would save the Sky Realm, even if it meant cutting down any who opposed us. But over time, the sacrifices began to mount. I struggled. My reason battled with my heart, which battled with my conscience. Mother was pure and righteous, but to sacrifice the entire Sky Realm... No. She just lost her way for a bit. She'd wake up one day and see she had strayed. As her child, as her defender, I wanted to believe that she'd change for me. Even at the very end, when I was forced to turn my sword on her, I was praying for an alternative, and that she would not repent. and I was confronted with the full force of the atrocities I'd committed in Avia's name. But there was one light left to guide me.
Just follow your heart. It might lead you to scary places, but at least you'll know you're being true to yourself.
Thank you, Lyria. If you hadn't reminded me of my own strength, I'd still be in the dark following Lilith. I swear to you that I will fix even more than I destroyed. And one day, perhaps I will be worthy of your forgiveness. "15 years ago, Dolly fell prey to a violent catastrophe. One that there was an explosion. Immense and sudden. My home went up in flames, and with it the only life I had ever known. People were fleeing and dying in all directions. The air was filled with screams and the smell of burning. Then, I heard it. The soul-piercing roar of a dragon. My short life should have come to an end that day. Except...
Shh. It's okay. Let me be the one to save you.
Salvation came in the form of a kind woman. Her name was Lilith, prophet of the pilgrims of Avia. From that day forth, she was both my mother and mentor. I worshipped her. And the thing about devotion is, it makes you blind. Mother had followers in the hundreds, thousands, and my simple child's mind thought, well, if this many people have faith in her, she has to be good, right? I wanted desperately to be of use to her. So I trained to be the perfect guardian.
Young Id, one day you shall be as mighty as I!
General Galanza taught me how to fight.
You wouldn't want the other pilgrims saying you're riding your mother's coattails, would you? Then you must prove yourself.
General Magliel taught me why we fight. Her training was harsh, but that's how I acquired the makings of a general. All effort, no nepotism. Finally, I had some value to Mother. Her sharpest sword. I never felt happier or more accomplished. I thought we were going to save the Sky Realm. The naivete of it all. After we captured the Shaman of Salvation for Lilith's cause, I was assigned to be the girl's keeper. That made me enemy number one to the Grand Cypher's crew. Every time I took Lyria to a primal beast altar, they'd be there, and we'd fight. I mean, there was a time or two we had to cooperate to prevent widespread calamity. That's beside the point. They were standing in the way of Lilith's mission, opening a path to the promised land, Estalucia, and bringing salvation to all Sky Dwellers. Salvation. That's a powerful word in a messed up world like ours. No wonder everyone got roped in by her lies. Lilith was no more than an astral desperate to return to her home dimension, and she would have sacrificed the whole Sky Realm to do it. I tried to reason with her. Might as well have asked an avalanche to change course. So I turned to prayer. But what are hopes and belief without action? So left with no other choice, I joined the crew of the Grand Cypher to dispatch my own mother. But I never could have foreseen what would happen next. Lilith did something, and freed a monster from within me. The dragon I'd seen the day Dolly burned, with wings so vast they overshadowed all of Sega Grande. Bahamut, versa. But then I learned Bahamut didn't cause the Dali calamity. It had come to stop it. It was Lilith who killed my family and razed my home. She'd only let me live for one reason. She needed a vessel to seal the dragon in, and I was conveniently nearby. She'd raised me to win my loyalty and protect herself from the god of destruction now living inside me. But when I stopped being of use to her, she abandoned me and let me turn into Bahamut. I don't know how to describe the feeling of flesh melting into scales, a fire filling your stomach. All human warmth, human blood seemed to rush from my veins, and it was replaced by an overwhelming urge to destroy. It was like being swept away in a torrent. Any attempt to fight it only made the suffering worse. I was so tempted to give in, but the crew wouldn't let me. Apparently, the captain was sure I wouldn't lose my soul battle with Bahamut. So to help me along, they decided to beat on the dragon from the outside until he coughed me up. Yeah, but it worked. The whole time they were fighting, they called my name, and the sound of their voices brought me back. I split myself from Bahamut, then joined the crew to take it down. We had our losses, though. Bahamut hit me and the captain with a blow that sent us hurtling into another dimension. A man named Roland dove in to save us, sacrificing himself along, and that's how we came back to Folka without him. Roland used to be the local Mr. Fix-It, by the way, and I took up that mantle. I owed him that much, and I figured it'd be a first step in making amends.
Come again.
Hey, it's everyone's favorite crew! Perfect timing, as usual. Truth is, I just put out an urgent cry for help. We got a caravan strong-armed by goblins in Skyworm Valley. I'm looking for folks to beat off the half-beasts and retrieve the stolen goods. Might be a tough battle, but think you can head out now?
Yeah.
Knew I could count on you. Take care of yourselves, you hear?
I was itching for some action.
Is your stomach growling? Then give it what it wants.
You ready to make those...
Yeah.
Knew I could count on you?
What are you waiting for?
our debut. Let's all do our best to help him.
Find the goblins, recover the supplies. Sounds simple enough.
It will be.
Not
Combat's
bad.
your forte, isn't it?
It's over! Perish! It's over!
And there's our gobbers.
I'll make this quick.
Where you look. Watch your step.
Look out! Here comes the backup brigade!
We'll manage. Keep picking them off.
Dang, Id. Glad you're on our side now. This is a cakewalk. Oh, that's that. Let's grab the stuff and get out of here.
This should be it. Let's move on.
Something's watching us. Stay sharp.
More goblins. But they shouldn't be much of a threat.
I don't know. Kind of weird they're attacking with such a small band.
Agreed. Though I don't sense reinforcements.
Oh, I got the ammo.
A wyvern!
It's called Skyward Valley for a reason. Brace yourselves, everyone.
Sure explains why there weren't many goblins.
No, local goblins should know.
That takes care of the flying lizard, but no sight of the stuff we came for.
We'll just have to keep looking. Let's go.
Let's see. Okay.
Let's hanging in there?
Appreciate it.
Where you?
How Roland was handling all these quests by himself?
He certainly has a knack for them, doesn't he?
Not bad.
You really can leave it to Mr. Fix-It.
What's this?
Hey, did you guys see that? Something big just flew by.
Not part of the brief, not part of our problem.
Another goblin. Let's take it out before it notices us.
Bring it!
Come here, little guy. Okay.
This one.
Looks useful.
More of them. Here they come.
Something's wrong. They're all running, but not from us.
Doesn't matter. We came here to do one thing. Screw them. Got you now!
Another goblin band? What gives?
I don't know, but it looks like our hunch was right. Killing needles.
That was the last. Now let's retrieve those supplies.
That's 2 of 3 accounted for. So now we should have just one more.
Didn't know you were going to call it. I have that.
It sounded just like Sierra.
Wait, no, my sense of humor is far less pun-reliant.
I don't get it. Something humorous just now.
Oh, it's nothing, Id. Don't break your brain over a little joke.
What joke?
A treasure hunt. Let's play. We should probably grab those, right? well.
I smell mirage stones.
Nice! Look at all the glowing stones! Let's try to nab every last one! Yay! That treasure is ours!
Let's see. Not bad.